Hello everyone, my name's David from Calvary Church Ballina. Last Wednesday I said we're going to spend some time looking together at this book, Gentle and Lowly by Dane Ortlund, and it's about the heart of Christ for sinners and sufferers, for people like us. And so I've read chapter 1 and I just wanted to share a couple of brief thoughts and reflections on that chapter. In it, Dane Ortlund points out that in all the verses about Jesus in the New Testament, in all the words in the four Gospels, that there's one section in particular where Jesus talks about his heart, what it is that drives his actions towards us, what his attitude towards us is. And the place he speaks about what his heart is like is in Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 to 30. And Jesus says this. He says, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Jesus describes his heart, and the words he uses is gentle and lowly. Gentle and lowly. That's the heart of Jesus. And the thrust of that is to say that he is approachable, accessible, even for lowly people like us. He's not looking down from above with a distance that he pushes us away. Instead, he is completely open and accessible and wants us to come to him. On page 20, Ortlund points out this accessibility. And he says this: "For all his resplendent glory and dazzling holiness, his supreme uniqueness and otherness, no one in human history has ever been more approachable than Jesus Christ. No prerequisites, no hoops to jump through. He was completely able to call us brothers and to eat with sinners and tax collectors. And so Jesus, when he describes his heart, says he is completely accessible. And when he speaks about the idea of a yoke, that's that heavy burden that the ox would pull along in the field to pull the farm equipment along. He says his yoke is light. Now by that he doesn't mean, this chapter points out, he doesn't just mean it's a little bit lighter than other yokes, the heavy burden of trying to follow all the laws and be good enough for God. Well, Jesus says, I'm a little bit lighter than that. No, Jesus is using a bit of an irony here to say that his yoke is light and easy. His yoke is an unyoke. It's the opposite of a yoke. It's like, Ortlund points it out this way, it's like a drowning man being told to put on the yoke, the burden of a flotation device, of a vest, a life vest as we used to call them. Obviously that's no burden at all for someone who's drowning. It's something that actually causes us to be lifted up and to be able to live and have life and survive. And so that's what Jesus says. His heart is gentle and lowly. He is accessible, and the yoke that he has for us is no yoke at all. It is that he gives us life itself. He gives us help along the way. Now for me, I feel right now like I need to hear that message again and again. I need to be reminded, especially during this time of lockdown and all the frustrations and all the isolation and loneliness, that my soul needs rest, and Jesus alone, the accessible one, he's the one with a lowly and gentle heart, calls to me to come to him. And I think he's calling that to you as well. So thanks for listening. Chapter 1, next Wednesday we'll do our reflection on chapter 2. If you haven't got this book, I encourage you to buy it, really helpful. But either way, tune in and listen in next week on Wednesday. Thank you.